And I am currently joined by Rivers Monroe. Hello, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So, can you guys just introduce yourselves to my audience that I've got here?
Sure, Rivers, why don't you start?
Yeah, I'm Rivers. I sing and play keyboards.
The Rivers of Rivers Monroe. This is Doc, the guitarist.
Oh, sweet.
Hi, I'm Kirby. I'm playing on bass.
Yeah, boo bass. And Mike Monroe, our lead singer, could not join us today because he is sick. He says he has laryngitis and he can't speak. So, we're going to corroborate that story later and see if he's actually telling the truth or in Disneyland. But,
Yeah.
Well,
He sings and plays cowbell, mostly.
well, I hope maybe he's in Disneyland. At least that's better than being sick.
I know.
True.
So, now, how did you guys form and become Rivers Monroe?
Well, actually, I met Mike in audition. We started doing our own things, the two of us. That's where the name spawned. Mike Monroe and Matt Rivers, Rivers Monroe. And, we met Kirby and Doc through just networking, playing with other bands and playing shows. And then we actually met Dan last, and he joined the band, and everything just kind of worked out, When we jammed together, it just sounded good, so.
That's really cool.
It's not a very exciting story. Whenever we do written interviews, we make up some ridiculous, crazy story about how we met, and but when you have to come up with it on the fly, it's a little bit harder. But we just kind of networked and came together, and we're all of like mind and work mentality. So we just did it.
Yeah, and you guys have been really
But
good.
at the same time, we're a great dysfunctional family.
Now that is the best part. I remember when I interviewed you guys last, I could tell you had a nice mesh, like a total family.
Yeah.
So now you guys recently headlined for the Rolling Sounds tour. So what was it like?
This is Doc. The tour was awesome. We've actually done a lot of stuff in between them too. We've opened for a lot of great acts, Paramore, 21 Pilots, Phoenix, Newfound Glory. But the tour, I think, was the highlight of our career so far because we were everywhere. We were sleeping in our cars out in the cold and playing early mornings and late at night. But it's just an experience that every musician wants to have.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Was there any favorite moments from that tour?
This is Rivers. I think, I know that I speak for most of us. Doc, I don't know if you agree, but when we went to Nashville, we probably had the best time in Nashville because that was one of the only cities that we actually got to stay in and sort of party, because most of the time we'd show up, we'd play, and we'd leave and go to, the next area we had to go to. But in Nashville, we got to stay and go out and kind of enjoy some of the nightlife, and we had an amazing time. Everybody was so nice.
Nashville's awesome. It's a really cool city. One of the funniest stories we had is, we had to drive to the next location overnight after we played, and, Mike and I were in the car, and, they said, oh, yeah, we'll meet you there in 2 hours, and we get there, and we're waiting in the parking lot, and nothing happens, and we end up passing out, on each other. We wake up, cuddling with each other, and nobody's there, and so we call them, and they're like, oh, yeah, we stopped at a hotel. We're all showered and all that stuff, and we had stayed up all night in this freezing car. we were so angry. But it was funny, man.
You called, man.
We did. You didn't answer.
Looking back now, it's funny. Back then, that's probably what the
Yeah.
Sounds like it certainly was a great experience. Very funny story now, especially. I'm sure all the fans love hearing it. You guys...
It's definitely an experience. I think one of the best parts is just, it's kind of like all the people you meet along the way in different states and different parts of the country.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's just a little bit different here and there, wherever you go in the South and the Midwest, and it's just it's nice. People really appreciate the music, and that's obviously the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any favorite fan encounters? Because you're on Facebook, Twitter, I see you tweeting all the time. Do you have any favorite fan that you end up talking to?
Oh, we have
Any favorite fan?
fan.
Or just fan encounter?
Favorite bands that we like listening to? Favorite bands that we actually...
No, fans.
Or favorite bands.
Members of your RN Army.
People who like RM. No, this is Doc again. Sorry, but yeah, no, fans. Twitter is like the best thing to have because I mean we spend so much time just like talking with all the different fans because it gives you a chance to like personally interact with every single one of them, and it's such a great opportunity that a lot of bands haven't had in the past. So I mean we encourage everybody to follow us all on Twitter. We all have individual accounts and. That's our favorite part of being in a band is just like talking to all the different people across the country, if across the world, and it's all right at our fingertips. So it's just so cool.
Yeah, and
I don't think we have a favorite fan. It's kind of like saying if you have children, who's your favorite child? So I think all our fans just do a great job helping us and supporting us and spreading the word, and that's all really we could ask for,
Oh yeah, like I noticed on Twitter
that they're connecting with our music, though, and I mean that's something that really genuinely comes from the spirit of all of us in RM, and that be able to actually share that with everyone and connect with them on another level is really cool.
Yeah, it must be. Like I see you guys have street teams and just a whole bunch of fans that are always talking about you, and it's so cool to see the interactions of how often you guys talk to them and just really kind of try to get close.
Yeah, I mean we really emphasized that when we decided to start creating kind of like a social network when it comes to Facebook and Twitter. We wanted to make sure that if we're going to do this, we're going to actually use it to communicate with fans instead of just have it up and hey, follow us, and then download our music, but don't ever talk to us. Like we want to make sure we communicate with fans, because I mean that's an important part. It makes it more personal. It creates kind of like a family atmosphere. And that's why we have the Army, RM being the Army. That's just our group of people that we kind of work together on stuff.
That is fantastic, guys. So now I know that you've opened for a lot of different bands, like you mentioned, 21 Pilots and Paramore. Do you guys have any favorites of those opening performances?
This is Doc again. Honestly, most of 99% of them are so awesome and cool and down to earth, and we've had a great time with it. I think, one of the best, if not the best we had was opening for All Time Low not too long ago down at the Fillmore in Maryland. They are just like the nicest, most like down to earth, cool guys, and they put on the greatest show. I mean, their show is just like. We're proud of our show, but when we watch them, we're like, wow, we need to, aspire to be even better. And they're just the coolest guys, and it was just so much fun. And, I think they were my favorite.
It's a hard question because it's like we listen to all these bands that we've been opening up for, that we've been lucky to be able to open up for. I'm a big fan of Paramore. I'm a big fan of Passion Pit. We had to open for both of those in the same show. So it's kind of hard to say, but I will agree with Doc. When we play with All Time Low, we actually spend a lot of time with the guys, and they're just so laid back and cool that we just had a great time.
Wow, that is really cool.
And their live show is ridiculous. Like, it's probably one of the best I've seen. Highly recommend it.
Oh, well.
In fact, they party like kings, but yeah.
Well, that is definitely good to know. Did you guys fan out a little bit? Did you freak out a little whenever you met the bands that you opened for because you were listening to them also?
The only band that I really kind of I guess fanned out about, and it wasn't dramatic. It was more I'm a huge fan. It was probably Passion Pit, because I had been listening to them a lot over the past few months before we got on the show. And when I met them, I was like, I've been checking out your new album. It's a great album. I love your music. And they were just kind of like, oh, cool, man. And that was pretty much it.
I know I can speak on behalf of Mikey for this. Mikey absolutely positively worships Tom DeLonge. And so he was really bummed when we were going to play a show with Gibbons, Flogging Molly, and Cake, and Angels and Airwaves actually pulled out the last minute.
Oh,
I'm
no.
really heartbroken about that. But if you met Tom DeLonge, I would want to film that on YouTube so I can catch him totally fangirling and make that a viral video.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Cried, no question.
I'm sure all your fans would love to see Mike fangirling.
It's a sorry picture. It's a sad picture.
It's a verb that we use quite commonly. It's very funny, but it's only in terms of guys fangirling over things. It's really funny.
That is funny, because I see fangirling a lot for, well, girls who are fanning over their, bands and everything, but I love that you guys use it yourself.
We're not too proud. We'll do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we love music. Obviously, we write our own music, but we're also huge fans of music as well. So we follow bands, and even though we play music on our own, we still follow bands on the side and just kind of try to support them, just like we would want young bands coming up to support us when they're just starting out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course. As you mentioned, though, you've written a lot of your own music because, of course, you like music. And is most of it on your album right now that's actually coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we write all of our own music, not just some of it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, the album that's being released is all us, It's been a culmination of the last few years. I mean, we're proud of it. It's been a lot of hard work, and we're glad to finally release it. And obviously, once it's released, we're going to be working hard on some new stuff as well.
That's fantastic. Was there, any song that you guys liked writing the most?
You know what? That's actually a good question. Songs that we enjoyed writing the most. Everyone always asks us which songs do you like the most, and that's just like choosing your favorite child, as Rivers said before. I would say that the song we enjoyed writing the most was probably the one that was the least painful. So it would probably be the one that we were in the studio and we were just jamming on just a regular riff, and we all just kind of had this incredible energy, and we had the unanimous agreement that, oh yeah, this is our single. It's called Moments.
Nice.
Yeah, Moments kind of came together so fast and kind of effortless that it just kind of worked. And usually songs are like we're grinding and we're disagreeing. We're like, we should go this direction or we should go that direction. And Moments just kind of happened. We were like, this feels right.
Yeah, that's great because it's actually one of my favorite songs off the album, and it just sounds so effortless too.
Oh, we appreciate that. That's one of our favorite songs as well.
So do you guys have any big plans for the future other than this awesome album release tomorrow?
We have a lot of stuff. We're going to have a very, very busy year. Nothing we can say yet or announce. I think we're focused on the album release, but we have an incredible management team. We have an incredible street team who have all been, working really hard to put together the pieces so that we could have a really huge year this year. So it's going to be really big, and it starts with our album release tomorrow. We're going to be worldwide on everything. You can Shazam us, Spotify, anything you can see and find that plays music will be on it. So we're really excited to get out there.
Well, I will make sure to keep my listeners updated. And once again, I am on air with Rivers Monroe here at WDOM Providence College Radio. And thank you guys so much for joining me. So just like some fun facts, do you guys have any favorite artists at the moment?
I've been listening to a lot of the 1975. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're from the UK. And their new album I just been jamming to it a lot. That and Passion Pit's new album.
Nice.
You can hear every Thursday, I believe, we post what we're listening to in our spare time. So you can check on our Facebook there. That's usually a fun time.
Oh, yeah. What's your Facebook?
Especially when Doc listens to Barbra Streisand.
Wind beneath my wings. Let's do it.
So what's your Facebook page number so that way people can go ahead and follow you?
www.facebook.com/Rivers Monroe.
Sweet.
Rivers is plural.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with Twitter, @Rivers Monroe, www.riversmonroe.com.
YouTube, same thing.
YouTube, @Rivers Monroe. We kept it nice and easy.
Nice. So for all my listeners, it's at Rivers Monroe, always plural for the Rivers. And definitely follow them and check them out. I follow you guys on Twitter. I like you on Facebook. And it's always great because I see new posts. For example, you guys built a snowman and covered one of your members' car in snow. I do recall that. It happened recently.
Yeah. A lot of tomfoolery.
So, all right. Well, once again, I'm on air with Rivers Monroe. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, so I'm going to close out with their latest song, Moments. If you guys would like to introduce it, I'd be more than happy to have you do that.
You're up, Maddie. Oh, all right. No, Maddie, you do it. You do it. You're better.
All right. So this is Rivers Monroe, like she said. This is our newest single, Moments.